Hi, my name is Wendy Vogel. As most of you know, I'm the science consultant at Kent ISD. I wanted to give you a quick update on the implementation process for science here in the county and give you some information that might help in creating your school improvement and district improvement plans this spring so that you're all set to go in the fall. As you know, we've been utilizing the guide to implementation that you see down below or above, I guess, and next to it, the Michigan Department of Ed science timeline. So we're kind of in that 2016-17 year. We've been focusing mostly on the professional learning component, and so as you can move over that, on that timeline, you'll see that we need to move into instructional practices, class descriptions, schedules, and materials, and so that's direction we're headed. We're going to use that guide, pull a few things out of there as well to get us moving towards next year's goals. So the focus for next year at the ISD here will be teacher leadership and learning, instruction, assessment, and curriculum materials. All of those things kind of go hand in hand. Probably the one that does need to be done before the others is the teacher leadership and learning, putting good leaders in place as well as getting some learning around the vision for the K through 12 framework so that we really have an understanding of how those standards should be presented to students is really a key piece before we move to the other components. So let's take a look at each of these individually, hopefully helping you develop what might need to go in those plans before June 30th. So here at the ISD, we're going to continue to focus on NGSX and modeling instruction in the county, and we have those up on the website. We also, I also will provide in-district support as needed, and when I go out to districts, I often use the MySide PLN awareness courses to help with that as well. Moving forward, we're going to really start focusing on instruction. We've learned something. Now we need to actually put that into practice within the classroom. The Kent Science team is going to be available next year to focus on those instructional strategies that were learned in that initial learning opportunity. So we're going to move forward with NGSX Unit 7 in that storyline component that you see at the top. That is actually unit creation. So teachers would be unpacking and looking at how a narrative would play out within a unit around solving a problem or understanding a phenomenon. The second piece down there is Formative Assessment. I will be having some training with the Michigan Math and Science Networks regarding formative assessment using Aaron Furtak's work called the feedback loop and bringing that back to the county. So if teachers are ready for that in their classroom, that will be another option. And then lastly is one more that's tailored to district or teachers in the county's needs, and that would be instructional strategies and peer collaboration. So teachers would choose an instructional strategy with a group of peers, collaborate around it, do some learning around it first, and then collaborate around it second. And those things, some of those strategies might be whiteboarding, talk moves, driving question boards, data summary tables, and then doing some things like PLC work or, learning labs around that. Coaching is also available, of course, too. Instruction comes with a few unique needs, and one of those is to tying that into the evaluation tool that teachers are now being asked to use in their districts. So what I've done is created a supplemental support guide that is science specific. It takes the 4 evaluation tools that are approved by the state. I've come up with 5 categories that are similar in all 5 of those, in all 4 of those evaluation tools, and put some science specific items in there. Along with on the far right, you will see a set of sample tools that would support those instructional strategies. So this is really a tool for teachers and administrators to sit down together and use in conjunction with their evaluation tool that they use in the district and find ways that science and the evaluation tool can go hand in hand. Another component of instruction is we now have some learning around instruction. Now, what are we actually going to teach? And so if your district hasn't course sequenced yet, that is something 612 that will need to occur. It's been very exciting to see some of the really hard work that teachers and administrators have put into the sequences that are showing up within our county. It's kind of a unique situation to each district, but it's really kind of cool. So if you haven't done this yet, it will consist of some version of either unpacking first and then sequencing, or sequencing and then unpacking. And during that process, there will be editing and reviewing before you get to that final product. This really is an opportunity for you at the district level to do something unique and exciting in your district and being innovative, which is what the Michigan Top 10 in 10 is actually looking for you to do. It kind of calls for that. It also is an opportunity to market yourself as a unique place to be within the county. You can offer things that are specific to the needs of the students, or advertise for the students that are wanting to come into your district. If we did develop a county model here in Kent, it would be a bit of a challenge, because teacher certifications are very different throughout the county. And so we want to eliminate that challenge by allowing you to have some local control. I also think by having teachers spend time unpacking and sequencing, you are really going to get a lot better buy-in on this whole change that's really called for in the new science standards. If you need any help with this process, please don't hesitate to ask. All right, I'd like to move to curriculum materials. There are few and far between that are really well three-dimensionally aligned right now. However, knowing that good instruction comes in conjunction with curricular resources, we've been taking a look at some of them here at the county level that are low to no cost, and helping districts support this idea of trying it in the classroom, trying the instruction in the classroom with a set of materials. K-5, we have the phenomenal science units that are available through Michigan Virtual. They are in draft form, but come fall, they should be edited and ready for launch. We also have curriculum crafter units. Those are available. However, please understand that those are DCI and a little bit of SEP alignment. Your cross-cutting concepts are going to not be so transparent. Then I have some irons in the fire for K2 and 3-5 with Michigan State. I'll keep you posted on that when I know more information as well. At the middle school level, the MyStar pilot from Michigan Tech University will be available. We're going to support that with two units per grade level next year. So that will involve a little bit of online work, some PLC work, and then sort of seeing how that all plays out for those particular 2 units. We'll roll one out in late September, early October, and the other this winter. At the high school level, Interactions is a physical science curriculum. We're going to actually have Create for STEM come and do a 3-day professional development, August 8, 9, and 10, around that curricular resource. It can be used both as a pullout as well as a full year-long course. It is a little pricey, between $600 and $700. However, you get an entire year's worth of curriculum and curricular support through Create for STEM with that. You could pay thousands of dollars to buy a full year high school curriculum. So this is actually a relatively inexpensive cost. Carbon Time is online and free for use as well. However, it's in draft form and will be edited along the way. It's not ready for launch quite yet, but that's a biology-based curricular resource. And then, of course, we have a lot of American modeling teachers within our county, and they come with access to the Modeling Teachers Association's curriculum as well, and that goes 6/12. That is also just a $60 membership fee for that resource. However, it is advised that you have teachers that have had some training in order to use it. There are a lot of other things that are starting to become for sale as well, and let me know if you would like help vetting some of that material in your classrooms. There are lesson screeners and unit screeners available on Achieve, and I'm more than happy to help you with that process. All right, moving on to assessment, which go hand in hand with instruction and curricular resources. You can take a look at Michigan Department of Ed's Alligator down there, and that sort of shows their vision for a balanced assessment across the state. On the left, you can see most of the assessments are within the classroom, both formative and summative. However, at the state level, they have been writing some performance tasks. Those are called 3D SPA tasks, and those are curriculum agnostic, meaning they don't follow the curriculum you're using, and they can be used as a litmus test to see how that curricular resource and how that instruction is actually doing in the classroom in conjunction with the standards you're teaching. There's some gaps right now that haven't been developed by MDE yet, but then you can see on the far right in the smallest part of the Alligator, because it's only tested once every 3 years, that's the M step. There have been some writing around that, as most of you know. Some of you have piloted those cluster items, and they're going to continue to write this summer. We are actually holding an assessment writing opportunity for teachers August 14th through the 17th here in Kent County in conjunction with Muskegon County. So if teachers are interested in that 4-day training, it gives you a really good idea of how those assessment pieces are written and what they will look like in the future, and those items will actually be used on an open bank that teachers can access. So here at Kent County, we want to mimic some of those things that are happening at the state level. So you can see at the top right, in the hexagons over there, we have the formative assessment work with Aaron Furtak I talked about with the Kent Science team. Those performance tasks that I mentioned, I'm actually a trained facilitator, and so if something like common assessments in a performance task situation might sound good to you as a district, that's something I can facilitate as well. And then we have that M-STEP opportunity here to support that learning as well. So making that transition from the timeline that MDE has produced to the pieces that we're going to support using that NGSS implementation book, you can see that we're pretty much on par with what the state is expecting of us. So focusing on those 4 categories this year, I think will help us continue to move our implementation at the county level forward. I just want to remind you that as you, as a district, continue to implement those science standards, that you communicate out to your teachers, your administrators, as well as your stakeholders, including your parents, so that they know what's going on. This is a huge shift from learning about science to figuring it out, and if you have any questions or need any help along the way, don't hesitate to call me. Resources from this particular slide deck will be at the bottom of the email that I sent out, so grab any of that, including the PowerPoint if you need it, and have a good day.